Caught another one.
Oh, good work, Mr. Rotter.
You know, I've been to every building in this city, every mansion and slum, and City Hall's just as chock full of rats as the rest of them.
Ah, too bad you can't trap the rat giving a speech outside City Hall. You're not a fan?
Oh, not a fan. Big fan of these guys, though.
I can't believe Chadwick Vaughn is running for mayor.
The outgoing mayor tapped him himself. And so far, Vaughn's running unopposed.
Be a dark day for this city if he gets the reins.
My first order of business will be cleaning up the corrupt constabulary and partisan crown attorney's office. Time to put an end to these politically motivated sham trials. I myself was only rescued from a malicious prosecution by the good sense of my fellow citizens on the jury, who found me innocent of all charges.
Doesn't mention it was a murder trial, and that he should have been hanged.
I couldn't agree more.
We must root out the radical elements in our justice system. These people will never be satisfied until they have destroyed our way of life. One need only consider the recent appointments at Station House 4. Not the most traditional choices, to say the least. Our justice system must be focused on rooting out criminals and undesirables infiltrating our city. Yeah! Yeah! Bravo!
Chadwick Vaughn is the real criminal.
Today, we will begin canvassing for a new police census.
Wasn't there a government census just last year?
Yes, Constable Roberts, but our outgoing mayor believes that census undercounted the citizens of Toronto.
Can't we just mail out a survey, sir?
We are looking for accuracy, Constable Higgins. We will be registering each citizen in person. We will be knocking on doors day and night and meeting the people of Toronto. You are not to rely on neighbors or rumors until all avenues have been exhausted.
Sounds like we'll be the ones getting exhausted.
I want Station House 4 to collect more statistics than any other station house. So, I'm offering a prize for the pair that collects the most names.
What's the prize, sir?
Surprise prize. Constable Roberts, you and Constable Higgins will be canvassing in this area. You two will be over here, and you two over here.
We have the smallest section.
It is also one of the most densely populated areas of the city. Double the doors to knock. Excellent chance at the prize.
There were no witnesses? You think she was killed overnight?
I'd say she's been dead about 3 hours. Unfortunately, there's nothing on her person to indicate her identity.
She's dressed respectably.
And plainly, certainly not for a night out on the town. So, what was she doing here?
Oh, Murdoch. Just popped by the station house. They told me where to find you.
Dear God.
Sir?
I spoke to this woman yesterday at the Chadwick Vaughn announcement. She was no fan of his at all. I quite liked her.
Did you learn her name?
No, she only mentioned Vaughn, who appears to have it in for me and the Crown Attorney's office.
I suppose he still resents being put on trial for murder.
He's a bloody killer, as we all know, who's now looking to run for mayor, unopposed.
It is upsetting, sir. But there's still time for someone to throw his hat in the ring.
If they fancy facing off against a murderer. Anyhow, if he's got it in for me, he's got it in for all of us. Look sharp, lads, and let's catch this killer quickly.
The victim was strangled by a single hand. You can tell by the bruising on her neck. thumb and 4 fingers.
A killer with a deadly grip.
Indeed. It reminded me of a victim I examined recently. Station House 1 brought her over a few months ago. Fortunately, when I last checked, the case is still unresolved.
Is that right?
Take a look at the bruising patterns. They're strikingly similar.
Almost identical.
This victim was also strangled in an alley at night, found in the morning. I can track down more information on this Jesse Wallace. The file's a bit light on the details.
Good work, Miss Hart. Keep me posted.
Of course.
That looks like a lot of stairs.
At least the doors will be close together. Don't you like meeting new people? It's hard to believe there's hundreds of thousands of them here. How big is this building? In the city, I mean. All right. Still no answer?
No.
Neighbor I spoke to said there's an older lady named Ida that lives here.
Well, that would match last year's census. Ida McKay, born in 1854.
Knock again. Maybe she's going deaf.
You know, if I'm to get exhausted working, I prefer to be doing something useful. Catching a criminal, solving a murder, not interrupting other people's naps. Let's just mark her down, come on.
No. We're supposed to try 3 times before we rely on secondhand sources, remember?
Well, let's write her a note telling her when we'll be back. For when she wakes up from her nap.
Do you really think you can identify the young woman by her clothing alone?
Well, sir, our only other option is to wait for a missing persons report. Modest but decent attire. All of it smells rather strongly of coffee. I found several pencil stubs in her pocket, and I've confirmed traces of egg and flour on the soles of her shoes, along with this third substance here. Oats.
Cayenne pepper. What do you conclude, Detective?
Well, sir, I believe our victim was a waitress. I just have to determine where she worked.
Where was she found?
In this alley, right here, which is very close to a diner here.
Good place to start, then.
Those ferrets may be good at catching rats, Mr. Rada, but I will not have them inside with the customers.
Good day. Detective Murdoch, Toronto Constabulary. Mr.
Liu, Min Liu. I'm the owner.
Oh, very good. Mr. Liu, do you recognize this woman?
That's Bridget. Bridget Thurston. She's dead?
What?
I'm afraid so. Mr. Liu, when did you last see her?
Last night, right here, working. We've been staying open all night. You know, try to get customers on their way home from the bars. But it was slow. I let her go early.
What time was that?
Around 4. Cora and I stay on until the morning folks come in. I was mostly working the grill.
Thank you, Mr. Liu. If I could ask you a few questions, Miss
Cora Hastings.
Miss Hastings.
I told Bridget she needed to live closer. My place is small, but at least it's right next door. Poor Bridget had to walk home alone.
Did Miss Thurston have any enemies that you know of?
No. Although there's sometimes pressure on the girls who work nights to provide favors.
Did Miss Thurston?
No. Bridget never even flirted for tips. That's why she left service to become a waitress in the first place. She used to be a cook in a grand house until she ran into trouble with the master.
Who might that be?
You here to see which way I'm gonna vote?
No, we're here for the police census. Can you confirm your name and age, sir?
Wayne Miniman, 56 years old.
Does anyone else live at this address, Mr. Miniman?
Yes, my roommates. Tommy, Benny, Miles, Bo, and Taffy. But, well, they're away on vacation right now.
All of them?
All of them.
Bit strange, them all taking a vacation at the same time?
And that they all fit in the same flat?
Well, they'll all be home soon, I swear. Oh, just a minute. Here's your information.
That's all right, sir. We'll come back to verify the details with them.
In person?
Yeah, but I wrote it all down.
There's a new opponent in the race, a Mr. Noah Everett. I suppose Vaughan couldn't bribe everyone to stay off the ballot. Any progress on that murder case yet?
Yes, sir. I've identified the victim. It would seem that Miss Thurston used to work as a cook for none other than Mr. Chadwick Vaughan.
First she was at Vaughan's rally making disparaging comments. Then she turns up dead. And now we know that she worked for him. What are you waiting for, Murdoch?
Sir, we believe we may have stumbled upon a sequential killer. Miss Thurston is the second of 2 women who were strangled overnight just within the past few months.
You're saying that Vaughan's on a killing spree?
No, sir. Because the first victim was murdered while Mr. Vaughan was in custody for his trial, so it couldn't have been him.
You can't be sure of that. Vaughan's as slippery as they come.
Yes.
Arrest him anyway. Throw a wrench in his campaign. Because if Vaughan wins, we're all in trouble.
This way, please. Mr. Vaughan.
Ah, the corrupt constabulary. How may I be of assistance?
Mr. Vaughan, are you familiar with a Miss Bridget Thurston?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh, apparently she was employed as a cook in your household up until just a few months ago.
Oh, yes. Miss Thurston. Unfortunately, I had to let her go.
Why's that?
She seemed to think I only wanted her for kitchen duties. Naive girl.
Miss Thurston is dead, Mr. Vaughan.
Ah, well, that is a tragedy, to be sure.
Where exactly were you 2 nights ago?
If that's when something happened to the girl, I suppose I should say I was at home. But the many staff members, I'm certain, will attest to my presence.
Are you quite sure? Because we will be checking.
Feel free.
You did it.
Sir.
I know he did it.
So prove it. And don't forget to vote.
We should have him locked up, Murdoch.
Sir, we still don't know if Miss Thurston was killed by Chadwick Vaughan. And there's reason to believe that both she and Miss Wallace were murdered by the same hand. And remember, Mr. Vaughan was in custody at the time of the first murder.
The same hand? That's just a theory.
There is strong evidence, sir. Detective Watts is chasing down leads now on Miss Wallace. Details that Station House 1 may have overlooked, and they could lead us to the killer.
Why, look, he's standing right in front of us. We've got to get him off the street. More women could die.
Sir, I need more evidence.
If it's evidence you want, I'll find it myself.
Still no answer?
No. Perhaps the poor woman is bedridden. Can't make it to the door. Our note is still there, after all.
But the wreath is gone. Someone's been here since our last visit.
Do you think Miss McKay is inside but avoiding us?
Yeah, I don't know. The neighbor said she heard a woman screaming earlier.
It's all quiet now.
She also says she's worried. She's never gone this long without seeing Ida.
Oi, you! I need to ask you some questions about the candidate.
Of course, sir.
It's Chief Constable to you, young man. You seemed a bit nervous earlier.
Everyone on the campaign's been on edge since Mr. Everett announced he's running for mayor.
Surely Vaughan's not worried about a little competition.
Mr. Everett used to be one of Mr. Vaughan's closest confidants, sir. But now he's been bad-mouthing Mr. Vaughan to anyone who will listen. And Mr. Vaughan says that Everett will live to regret it.
Hold this. Go on.
And I'm not sure that Mr. Vaughn was home that night like he told you. I heard him making plans to attend a dogfight on Dundas Street.
Dogfight, eh?
And I'm legally obligated to tell you all this, right?
Of course. Now then, Mr. Everett, I understand that you're running for mayor against Chadwick Vaughn.
That's right. I'm going to bring Toronto into the future by expanding the waterworks and modernizing the sewers.
That's just a regular floor that you perched on, Mr. Everett, not a soapbox. I've heard that you and Vaughn were close. Why compete against a friend?
He may have been a friend until I told him I was running. Then he said I was scum.
Very nice of him.
But more than that, he can't be trusted. Chadwick Vaughn is a man with money instead of a conscience.
You're not wrong there.
Does this have anything to do with that poor woman who was found dead? I've heard things from Vaughn about women.
So, Miss Thurston, is there anything else you remember your sister Bridget saying about Chadwick Vaughn before he dismissed her?
Bridget wasn't let go. She quit because Mr. Vaughn wouldn't leave her alone.
Mr. Vaughn harassed her?
He was determined to have her. He even called up her agency and left her a bad reference, all to try and force her back into working for him.
He lied about it to the agency?
Bridget wanted the respectability and the safety of working in a fine household. But he drove her away, out of service altogether, to here. And it still wasn't far enough.
You think Chadwick Vaughn may have still been after her?
He told her that, in the end, he always gets what he wants. Nothing will convince me that Chadwick Vaughn didn't kill my sister.
I've spoke to more than a dozen people. Surely there's enough in this file to send him to prison.
Uttering threats, making false claims, and attending a dogfight on the night of Miss Thurston's murder.
And he's not more than a few women about.
We'll look into these allegations, sir, but so far, Mr. Vaughn's family and staff have backed up his alibi. We'll need more in terms of hard evidence to charge him with anything.
The evidence is not good enough unless you found it yourself. Eh, Murdoch?
I'm worried about the Chief Constable's single-minded pursuit of Mr. Vaughn. This may end badly for Station House 4, especially for some of us.
So I've heard.
Constables, have you seen Detective Murdoch?
Pardon me just a moment, Inspector. Watson, have you learned anything about Jessie Wallace?
First off, nobody called her Jessie. Miss Wallace was a prostitute better known as Venus in Furs.
Oh, my.
Yeah, she spent a great deal of time frequenting music clubs downtown and always wore mink stoles and coats.
If she always wore fur, it would imply she had high-paying clients.
Yes. I also spoke to her roommate. She said Miss Wallace mentioned she had something in her possession that could get her killed, but wouldn't tell her what it was.
I'm not surprised Mr. Miniman didn't answer his door this time. I'm sure his 5 roommates haven't magically returned from vacation.
He could be telling the truth. Lodgings aren't cheap, and there's plenty of overcrowded apartments around town. That was some strange sounds coming from behind the door. Squealing, scratching.
Whining and hissing.
You think it was animals?
I hope it was animals.
In Chatham, we like to keep our animals outdoors, for the most part.
I'd wager you're right, constables. Probably mousers and terriers in there keeping the vermin down.
How do you figure that, ma'am?
Oh, that building you're in is better than most when it comes to rats. I keep losing tenants to it.
You manage a building nearby?
The apartment's near the diner. Oh, and this new hotel's up. It'll be full of rats, too. That's city life for you.
Mr. Everett, why do you believe people of this city should vote for you?
I am committed to improving the sewers. Toronto is growing faster than the current system can keep up with, and households in the ward deserve better than contaminated communal water taps.
Think he'd make a good mayor?
He'd be better than Vaughn.
What do you say to the criticism that you're inexperienced? Mr. Vaughn has been a member of the Board of Control for years.
And the power has gone to his head. Just yesterday, the chief constable was asking me questions about Mr. Vaughn, who's clearly under investigation again by the police. Now I ask you this. Is that the kind of man who should be mayor?
Mr. Vaughn, what do you think of your opponent, Mr. Everett?
He's a loser who should quit the race now and save the city the cost of the ballots. All he cares about are raising taxes and filthy sewers. In fact, he likes sewers so much, he's probably a rat himself. Noah ever rat, more like.
I'm sorry, but there's not enough here to convict Mr. Vaughn. And besides, we can't afford another trial like the last one.
Rat tail? Sugar powdered licorice. Kids love them.
No, thank you. They can have them.
Is that rat poison that you'll be putting down?
No, it's harmless. But the rats don't like it. Keeps them on their runs right into my traps.
Now then, Mr. Otter, tell me, how would I go about catching a rat?
To catch a rat, you have to know their ways. Go to their secret places where they come out at night. Not too different from people who have things to hide. Take your man, Mr. Vaughn. I know a secret or two about him.
Do you know why the chief constable summoned us here?
I'm guessing he's found something. And I have a feeling it has to do with Mr. Chadwick Vaughn. Sir?
Ah, good. You're here.
What is this place?
A secret den of perversion maintained by Chadwick Vaughn.
How did you find it?
I have my sources. I'm a very well-connected man. Now, gentlemen, there's sure to be something incriminating here.
Sir?
What have you got there?
Piece of fur?
It looks like mink.
Just like the stoles favored by Miss Wallace.
Which proves she was here. That means Vaughn is connected to both victims. I told you he was guilty.
Yes, I've maintained that apartment most of my marriage. A wife is a treasure who must be treated like a queen. But a king needs a court.
And a courtesan or two.
So you entertained numerous guests there. Did you ever host a woman known as Venus in Furs?
Yes. Yes, I had Venus over numerous times. How did you know? I understand the woman is dead.
We found fur.
I see. Why shouldn't there be fur? I treated her well. Bought her the finest mink.
So you bought her gifts?
Certainly. Wasn't the only one either. Venus was obsessed with fur, after all. Perhaps one of her less luxurious pelts was the one shedding. Gentlemen, you can't keep wasting my time every time a woman dies in Toronto. I had no reason to kill her or Miss Thurston.
Huh.
Venus was a professional of the highest order and very discreet. We both enjoyed our relationship. And of course, I was in custody when she died.
He didn't seem rattled in there, did he?
No, he didn't.
So, Wallace, have you turned up anything we can use?
I spoke to Miss Wallace's aunt and sister. Neither of them knew what she could have had in her possession that would put her in danger. And her roommate has searched their place high and low.
Well, the fact is, sir, we don't have enough evidence to charge Vaughn with either murder.
Vaughn could have hired someone to do the killings. His so-called alibis are meaningless.
We are investigating that possibility, as well as the rumored dogfight the night of the murder.
Well, carry on.
Well, let's start by determining if Miss Thurston and Miss Wallace knew each other. Perhaps there's another common denominator.
Right. I'll see what I can find out about Miss Wallace's clients.
So you admit it?
Yes, fine. It's true. Tommy, Binny, Miles, Bo, and Taffy are my pets. And, well, I tried to get their names on the census.
But why?
Because I love them. And they deserve to be counted.
Did Miss Wallace's family know anything of her clients?
No, they believed her to be a secretary.
Hey, this elevator's months early. You can't just leave it here. We haven't even gotten off the ground yet. Invisible!
So these ferrets will do the trick?
Yes, ma'am. They'll catch all the rats I couldn't track.
Miss Hastings.
You're back.
We were wondering if Miss Thurston was at all acquainted with a Jesse Wallace, otherwise known as Venus in Furs.
Possibly through Chadwick Vaughn.
I've never met Mr. Vaughn. I do remember Venus. She came into the diner from time to time.
And was she friends with Miss Thurston?
I don't think so. Venus was just a customer. We both served her.
Speaking of customers, that gentleman was seated there last time I was here.
Yes. Ned couldn't afford his lodgings after he lost his factory job. He's here most nights. Just like Mr. Everett, always stops in for a coffee and a chat. Your usual, Noah?
If you please, Cora.
What do you have there?
The evening edition of the Sentinel, featuring a laundry list of Chadwick Vaughn's dirty deeds.
Oh.
You're the Noah Everett running for mayor?
Yes, I am. And I think I finally got a shot in this race.
Congratulations.
Miss Cherry, where did you get the information you published?
Not now, Detective. Mr. Vaughn, what is your response to the recent allegations that have surfaced? Sources close to you have reported adultery, slander, threats, cruelty to women, attendance at illegal
There's no
dogfights.
merit to these claims whatsoever. We are witnessing today is libel, plain and simple. The allegations in the Sentinel are nothing but spurious reports. The police planted this story. In fact, it probably came straight from the chief constable himself.
Did you share your Vaughn dossier with Miss Cherry?
What of it?
His supporters have closed ranks. They'll likely never speak to us now. And rumors of this Venus in Furs are the talk of the town. This could compromise our investigation.
Who would have thought that news of a man's crimes wouldn't even put a dent in his reputation?
Miss Cherry.
I have something. It might be important.
Well, come in, spit it out.
It's a manuscript. A roman éclair, if you will. Written by one Venus in Furs. It's a salacious account of her various indiscretions with a number of powerful men.
How did you come by it?
Venus entrusted it to a friend. Apparently, Vaughn was furious when he found out she was going to publish it. He demanded that she destroy it.
This could be the dangerous item that Miss Wallace spoke to her roommate about. The thing that could get her killed.
Venus's friend read the article in the Sentinel, thought it might be important, and brought it to me. She said it's full of passages of Vaughn's indiscretions.
I'm surprised, Miss Cherry. One would think you would want to break news of this in your paper.
I was. But now I fear that Vaughn will twist the headlines in his favor, even though Everett is by far the better candidate.
I am so tired of those stairs. It's our last visit. If she doesn't answer, we'll use the information from the neighbor.
Oh. You mean the neighbor that you spoke to the first time we came?
Yes? Hello?
You're not Ida McKay.
No, I'm Max Crisp.
Where's Miss McKay?
She's gone.
Gone?
Moved away.
She's my aunt, and she left me her flat. Yes, it's a lovely building. Hardly any vermin.
So, the census seems to be doing quite well. We've already collected the names of hundreds more Torontonians than were reported on the Dominion census, of many different ancestries as well.
Well, since men can't vote unless they hold property, I doubt the government's enumerators tried very hard.
Still, I would like to know how many people we are serving. It might convince the city to increase our funding.
I doubt that. Besides, a highly motivated police officer can do the work of 10 men.
What do you mean by that?
I've arrested Chadwick Vaughan. He's in your cells right now.
In my cells?
Good to have a killer behind bars before nightfall, wouldn't you say? Toodlepip.
Toodlepip. Englishman.
Step aside, please. Step aside.
It's Cora Hastings.
She has the same one-handed bruising around her neck. Watts, we need to secure the area and question witnesses quickly. Miss Hastings hasn't been here long.
And Chadwick Vaughan is still in our cells.
Yes, Miss Hastings was definitely killed while Mr. Vaughan was locked up.
Which means we've got the wrong man.
I can't believe you went ahead and arrested Mr. Vaughan.
Sir, I thought we agreed that there wasn't enough evidence to charge him yet.
The Crown Attorney is furious. He ordered me here to try to smooth things over with him.
What were you thinking, sir?
I was thinking that we now had hard evidence of antagonism between Vaughan and both victims. Miss Wallace was about to expose him in print as a philanderer.
There's still the issue of his alibis. His family and staff are maintaining that he was at home the night of Bridget Thurston's murder.
As does another councilman who says they played snooker together at Vaughan's residence. Oh, and the dogfight organizer was arrested and says Vaughan placed a bet but never showed.
I've told you before, Vaughan could easily have got his people to lie for him or hired a killer.
Not this time.
No.
Mr. Vaughan was in custody all night and was never alone to have ordered Miss Hastings' murder. Someone else is killing these women. You're going to have to release Vaughan and make nice.
Open up, Chris. We're back. We need to talk to Ida McKay now.
May I help you?
Are you Ida McKay?
Yes.
And do you know Max Crisp, your nephew?
Not her nephew.
And where do you live?
He lives at this address, too.
He does?
We were hoping to avoid any interference with the morality officers. Not everyone's as understanding of our relationship as I know you two gentlemen would be.
Oh.
And now, if you'll excuse us.
Stick around long enough, Teddy, he won't even blink an eye.
You're free to go.
The Crown Attorney wishes to extend his sincere apologies, Mr. Vaughan.
He would want to apologize, wouldn't he? And you, Mrs. Crabtree, are you sorry?
I never want to see the innocent behind bars.
A murder is most unfortunate for the victim, but in this case, rather providential for me, wouldn't you say? I've always believed that God is looking out for me.
You have to admit, you look guilty.
I never admit anything.
Excuse me, do you live here?
Yes, I'm the landlady of this building.
Oh, I'm a detective investigating Cora Hastings' murder. I noticed no key was found on her body, and I'd like to be let into her apartment.
Oh, it's just awful. My tenant murdered. And my other tenants, they're terrified of being strangled in their beds.
Does he live here?
No.
I know you from the diner, don't I? Ned, is it?
Yes?
Are you coming from Cora Hastings' apartment?
Yes. Cora gave me her key. She said I could grab a few hours sleep. So I'll be rested up to look for work today.
Why were you let go from your job?
Arthritis. I can barely hold a cup of coffee, let alone run a machine. Cora said she'd be back at 7 when her shift ended, but she's late.
Back by 7? Do you know any reason she would have left work early?
No. I thought I would check in the diner.
Miss Hastings was murdered around 5 this morning.
Could someone at the all-night diner be the killer? All of the victims are connected to it.
It's a good theory. And perhaps we should take another look at Miss Wallace's manuscript. Chief Constable Brackney dropped it off earlier. An arrest, Constable?
You see, sir, we realized that Mr. Miniman here wasn't just trying to get his pets added to the census.
He's trying to commit election fraud by getting extra names added onto the voter roll.
And when we leaned on him, he admitted to being paid by...
Noah Everett.
Very good. Well, get him booked, then it's back to your clipboards, constables. Those names won't collect themselves.
Sir, could you please tell us what the surprise prize is for the winning census team?
Very well. A beautiful first-place blue ribbon.
A ribbon?
Yes.
Is there a prize for catching criminals at the same time?
Job satisfaction.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Something on your mind, Detective?
Noah Everett is a regular customer at the diner.
All right. I did pay Miniman, but Miniman came to me. He said he'd found a way to inflate the voter roll and cast extra ballots. He believed in the cause.
I thought you had to be a property owner to vote. Doesn't Mr. Miniman rent his lodgings?
Well, another reason someone like me needs to win the election. To represent all the people. Chadwick Vaughn would be a terrible mayor, and worse, I think he's done every evil thing he's ever been accused of.
Well, you aren't just here to answer questions about the election, Mr. Everett. Were you acquainted with a Miss Jessie Wallace?
No, I don't think so.
You may have known her as Venus in Furs.
Oh. Yes.
I appreciate you not trying to deny it. Miss Wallace wrote this manuscript, and in it, she goes into a great deal of detail about a man she dubbed Rowan Peverett.
Peverett? Well, Venus and I were on quite friendly terms, though I had no idea she was working on something like that.
Such a frank portrayal in print could harm one's chances at election.
Are you suggesting that I hurt her? I would never. And Chadwick Vaughn introduced us. He must be in here as well.
Mr. Vaughn has an alibi for the murder, but you knew Miss Wallace. You knew Cora Hastings. Did you also know Bridget Thurston? She worked at the diner as well.
I knew her, and I liked her, and Cora and Venus, but I was away in Brooklyn, studying their waterworks the night Venus was killed, and I can prove it. And my next-door neighbor is a busybody. She keeps track of all my comings and goings. I'm sure she can vouch for me for the nights of the other murders.
We'll be booking you for election fraud, Mr. Everett, and then we'll verify your alibis. I don't believe Mr. Everett did it. And looking into Vaughn's finances, we've found no evidence that he hired any killers.
And Everett's out of the race for election fraud.
So it would seem.
Which means that Vaughn will definitely be mayor, and my days as chief constable are numbered. You probably won't fare much better, Murdoch. Looks like the rats are definitely taking over for good here at City Hall. I'll be the one fleeing this sinking ship.
We've been thinking that the victims were connected by the diner, but perhaps the diner isn't the link. Just the fact that it's open late.
Killers come out after dark. Nothing good happens after midnight, Murdoch.
What is that all over the floor?
I don't know. Something that Mr. Rotter put down for the rats. He said it was harmless, but rats don't seem to like it.
That's cayenne pepper. The same substance found on Miss Thurston's shoes.
Where are you off to?
I know who our killer is. What? You were just inside?
Yes, I wanted to know why Cora Hastings left her shift early last night.
And?
Apparently, the diner was forced to close at about 4:45 when a bunch of rats came running in. We suspect the killer is...
Mr. Rotta.
The rat
catcher.
catcher. Someone inside said he just came out.
There he is. Watts, force him north. I have an idea. Stop!
Everyone pretends to be grateful to the rat catcher. But really, they think I'm vermin too.
Actually, I think you're a murderer, Mr. Rotta.
Good thing you trapped me. Otherwise, I would have never stopped. Never stopped running and hiding, taking what I want after nightfall. This is what happens when you force into the dark what you don't want to see.
I can't believe it.
I can.
Mr. Vaughn, you're only a few hours away from officially winning the mayoral election with nearly all polls reporting. Any comments?
I'm looking forward to starting my term and removing from office the partisan chief constable, Thomas Brackenreed, and all current Crown attorneys. If not for their undue focus on persecuting me and stealing the election, this wretched Bill Rotter might have been caught sooner and an innocent young woman spared.
This is for Bridget!
That's no way to seek justice, young lady.
I understand you're quite the hero, Chief Constable.
You saved Chadwick Vaughn's life.
Well, I don't have any love for the man, but I couldn't stand by and watch Miss Thurston murder him in cold blood.
Mr. Mayor.
What are you doing here, Vaughn? And what's with the sling? You never even got a taste of that blade.
Careful, Chief Constable. I'm here to say thank you for saving my life.
Don't make me regret it.
Was there anything else, Mr. Mayor?
Any staffing changes, for example?
Not for the moment. I don't want to appear ungrateful in public.
So we're calling it even then?
For now. But not forever.